Hello students, I am Soma Das from Department of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering, Government Polytechnic, Bhubaneswar. Today my topic is Introduction to Fast Fourier Transform Algorithm. While discussing this topic, we will be covering these points. Like my first point is direct computation of DFT, then we'll go to why FFT, then one of the types of FFT algorithm, that is DIT algorithm. Then I have a comparison between direct computation and FFT algorithm. Then we will go to digital filters and DSP processors, and at last I have given some assignment questions for you. So before going to the topic, let's discuss first what is actually DFT. You have been taught in the class about DFT. Now simply I can say DFT is the discrete Fourier transform which is obtained by sampling one period of Fourier transform. Now next is DFT of a n-point sequence. We can mathematically write it as this, where I have written x of k is equal to summation over n is equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of n. Then I have a exponent factor, and this k ranges from 0 to n minus 1. N minus 1 means its value is actually n because it is 0 to n minus 1. Now what is the problem with this? The problem is here it requires a large number of computation which leads to greater processing time. That's why this is one of the disadvantage of taking direct computation of DFT. Now if we analyze this equation, so I have just taken that equation into a matrix form. Now this is one matrix, this is one matrix. So that equation can be obtained by the dot product or the inner product of these two matrices. Now what is this matrix? This matrix is actually that exponent factor. In the previous slide you can see this is the exponent factor, and the next matrix is this x of n, and I am having n values, so this index will be of n. Now if you simply multiply it, now see, each dot product requires n number of multiplications. Multiplications specifically I can say it is complex multiplication because the factor e to the power minus j is involved. So one dot product n times. So I am having how many numbers of products? I am having n values of k. So I will be all total, I will be having how many complex multiplications? I will be having n square multiplications. Similarly, if I will go for addition, then I need n minus 1 number of additions, and I am having how many values? I am having n values. So all total I will be having n into n minus 1 number of additions. Now you just imagine if n value is very large, then this calculation may go up to lakhs, which needs actually greater processing time. So this is one of the disadvantage of DFT. Now one more factor I have written here, I have used a notation that is W of n is equal to e to the power minus j 2 pi divided by n. This factor is known as Tweedle factor or phase factor, or you can call it as the nth root of unity. Now going to next slide, I have just explained how many calculations are required and what is the difficulty in finding all this. Now suppose I am taking, so for this we go for computationally efficient algorithm, that is, since direct computation is difficult to implement, we go for computationally efficient algorithm, which is, we call it as fast Fourier transform. Now though its name is a transform, but actually it is a algorithm. Now what is the base of this? The base of this FFT algorithm is we decompose the entire sequence into number of subsequences. So I have written, based on the fundamental principle of decomposing the computation of DFT of a sequence of length into successively smaller DFTs. So in simple word I can say it is divide and conquer. So we divide, then we implement. Now fast Fourier transform uses two important property of W of n or DFT that DFT has never used. So what are the property? One property is symmetry and the other property is periodicity. We will be discussing in our next slide what is periodicity and what is symmetry. Now you know that this n is actually the number of points, and that point can be of any integer. So integer we can represent it as r1, say r into r2 into r3 up to r to the power rv. I have written in subscript. So every r is a prime. Now you think, if this all r values are equal, then I can write it as r1 is equal to r2 is equal to this is equal to r, which is r to the power v. Now what is important here is, here this r is actually the base or radix of the system, and this v is actually the number of stages. For example, if you are taking n is equal to 8, so I can take this r to be 2 to the power 3. Now you can imagine this is the 3-stage computation with radix 2. So radix 2 algorithm got its name from here, and that on that basis we have divided the FFT algorithm into 2 types. So one is your radix 2 decimation in time algorithm, and the next one is radix 2 decimation in frequency algorithm. Now decimation, this word it means you have decomposed or you have splitted the entire DFT. Now decimation in time means we are decomposing the time domain sequence, and decimation in frequency means we are decomposing in frequency domain. Now next is, we will focus on this DIT algorithm. Now DIT algorithm, I have already written, decimate means to break into parts. Now DIT indicates dividing or splitting the sequence in time domain. Now we can say that DIT algorithm, first we have to divide x of n into 2 parts. One is, I have written f1n, and the second one is f2 of n. Then what is this f1 of n? This f1 of n will contain the even indexed samples. Even, you understand, even means suppose I am having 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. So what is, this is the time index n. Now even means 0 is even, then position 2 is even, then position 4 is even. And if I am taking the 2n plus 1 means odd index samples, that means I will take 1, then 3, then next values. Now I have divided into 2. Now this is the basic equation of your DFT. Now DFT equation, instead of x of n, I have clearly written here 2, I have divided into x of 2r, then x of 2r plus 1. Now a obvious question is, why I have taken this limit to be r? Because in the previous case we have taken it to be n, but n limit is from 0 to n minus 1. But when we are dividing the n point sequence, we are actually dividing the numbers. So numbers means here will come to n by 2, here also n by 2. So for that we have taken r is equal to 0 to n by 2 minus 1, here also 0 to n by 2 minus 1. Similarly, this exponent factor will also change. Now you look at this third equation, third line. Now third line, here we have taken this wn to the power k outside of summation, because the summation variable is r, whereas k is not dependent on this, so it can be treated as a constant and can be taken outside. Now instead of this I have written wn 2r k. Here it is just a simplification, so it is written the original formula. Now this 2 can be taken at the denominator. So if you write it at the denominator, then this factor becomes n by 2. Now this is a very important conclusion we got. Now hence, since we got this to be wn by 2, we replaced all the wn to be wn by 2. Now look at this equation. Is this not similar to that of FFT equation? So since this is similar in form to that of FFT, so we can just replace, or we can just write, this is nothing but the n by 2 DFT of f1n, which I have written it to be f1k. Similarly, this factor will remain as it is, and the next will again is the DFT of n by 2 point DFT of f2 of n. So this total equation we got. That means what ultimately we did, we just decomposed the x of k into 2 parts, f1k and f2k. Now this we call it as, what we call, we call it as the first stage decomposition. Similarly, in the next stage also we will decompose. We will decompose up to what? Up to until we get 2 samples. So next will be your second stage decimation. Now before going to second stage, Now we will discuss about this twiddle factor. This twiddle factor, I told you, this is Wn to the power k, or phase factor, or nth root of unity, whatever you can say. Now this n by 2 point DFT are periodic with period n by 2. Now why it is periodic? Because the sequence is of length n by 2. So if I will take that n by 2 as period, then obviously it will be periodic. So f1k plus n by 2 is equal to f1k, which is the periodicity property of f1k. Similarly this property. Now coming to this. This is your twiddle factor is written plus I have taken the phase factor n by 2. So if we will calculate, you can just verify this by putting Wn to the power k is equal to e to the power minus j 2 pi by n. So you can well verify that this is minus of this. Now what it indicates? It indicates the factor is remaining same, but the phase is only reverse. So 180 degree phase shift we can say. Now using this 2 property, we can simply draw a signal flow graph. This signal flow graph is called the butterfly diagram. Why butterfly? Because its shape looks like a butterfly. Now in the butterfly diagram, we have taken f1k as one input, f2 of k as another input, and here the multiplying factor is your twiddle factor. Now since we are getting this, so this equation also holds good. What is this? Now x of k, if your x of k is f1k plus this, then if you are adding a phase n by 2, then that equation becomes, this becomes minus because of this property of twiddle factor. Now if I am taking f1k and f2k, so one factor will be this, the other factor will be minus of Wn to the power k by using the symmetric property. Now you look at this, how many multiplications we need in a single butterfly? In a single butterfly we need actually one multiplication, which is the second factor. Here also the same. So one butterfly means one multiplication, and how many additions here? We need 2 additions here. We will analyze it. Now next is second stage decimation. Just like we have divided x of n into f1n and f2 of n. Now in the second stage of decimation, we will be dividing it into v11n, v12 of n. Then this also we will be dividing into v21 of n and v22 of n. Until this division will continue until you get a 2-point DFT. Now whatever conclusion we got, we just simply replaced it. So here if we are writing v11 of n is the, what v11 of n will take? It will take the even index samples, it will take the odd index samples. So similarly v21 and v22 of n. Now using that conclusion, we can also write, now your f1k, which is the DFT of f1n, this can be written as summation of these two. Similarly f2 of k, which is the DFT of f2 of n, can be written as summation of this and this. So I have used, but remember this, since this is the second stage decimation, this twiddle factor, here the index will be n by 2. Now we can say this is my first stage decimation, this is my second stage decimation. In the first stage I am getting a n by 2 point DFT, in the second stage I am getting a n by 4 point DFT. So from bottom to up I can say n by 4 point DFT goes to n by 2 point DFTs, n by 2 point DFT goes to n point DFT. So this way we divide. Then I have written the summary of steps, whatever steps I have taken. So first is the number of input samples should be in the form of 2 to the power because its radix 2. And whatever this m value will come, this is the number of stages. Now the input sequence is shuffled through bit reversal. Why bit reversal? I will say because when you are taking the even indexed values, so this f1n will contain 0, 2, 4 and 6. f2 of n will contain 1, 3, 5 and 7. Then again when you decimate, here also you have to take even indexed as 0 and 4. So this will contain 0, 4. Then next is odd indexed, which is 2 and 6. Similarly this even index means 1, 5 and odd index means 3 and 7. So this is actually bit reversal. Now look at this table. So this is the normal order. written in binary form. Now finally we are reversing, because we are taking, now you look at this, 0 4, then 2 6, then 1 5, then 3 7. So 0 bit reverse. So we have to take 1 is bit reverse to 4, 2 is like this, so we can get. Now next is the number of stages in the flow graph will be m is equal to log 2 of n. It can be well verified here. Now each stage consists of n by 2 butterflies. So basic butterfly we know, since we are dividing into always into 2 even part and odd part, so it's n by 2 butterflies. The number of sets of sections of butterfly in each stage is given by 2 to the power m minus m. The twiddle factor exponent is given by this, where t value ranges from this, and after doing all this you can draw the flow graph by taking the n input samples, bit reverse it, then you calculate the DFT values using basic butterfly diagram. So this completes your all FFT, how to implement this FFT DIT algorithm. Now next we will be discussing about, now one more thing, I have just put one image for your clarity. Here I have taken x of 0, x of 4, x of 2, x of 6. This is the bit reversal. What we are doing here, we are finding out the 2-point DFT in each case. Then after getting this 2-point DFT, you can combine this 4 to get the 4-point DFT. Similarly, this set also you are getting the 4-point DFT. Then combining this 4 and 4 DFT, you are getting a 8-point DFT. So this image is about a 3-stage computation of 8-point DFT. Why 3 stages? Because 8 is equal to 2 to the power 3. So we will be having 3 stages. Then give some more clarity to this. So I have done the flow graph of DIT algorithm of 8-point DFT. Now you look at this, whatever sample values will be given, you will write it in reverse bit reversal order. Then this exponent, twiddle factor exponent will get. Now what is this value? This value is actually x of 0 plus wn to the power 0 into x of 4. And what is this value? This will be simply minus. Similarly, you can get this 2-point DFTs. Now next is taking this 2-point DFT, you will calculate this 4-point DFT using again the basic butterfly concept. Then finally you will get this 8-point DFT. Now you have, this is for 8 points. Similarly, you can build your own 16-point, 32-point DFT also. Now this completes your FFT. Now next will be switching to your digital filters and digital signal processors. Now all of you know digital filters are actually linear time invariant systems which are represented by difference equations. And why they are used? They are mainly used for filtering, and filtering of what? Filtering of arrays and your sequences. Now how we get these arrays and sequences? We are getting this by sampling the input analog signal. Because input is analog, we have to discretize it. So the method is sampling. Now like your other analog filters, it perform the basic operations like low pass, high pass, band pass, then band stop, etc. Now one more thing is digital filters actually include some specification in terms of cutoff frequency or sampling frequency, stop band attenuation, etc. Now these filters can be implemented either in software or in hardware. Now you think of, since the digital filters are implemented in software, so we need some software. What type of software we need? Actually assembly level languages like your C can also do this, do good for this. Now your difference equation actually implemented in softwares, then those are languages are compiled and an executable code is actually created. Now that code runs on the digital circuitry like your data bus, shift registers, counters, ALU to give the required output. Now digital filters can also be implemented in hardwares, but we need dedicated hardwares which contain digital circuits like your counters, shift register, flip-flops, etc. Now what is the disadvantage of taking this hardware implementation? Now hardware, since hardware is only specific, so we can do one type of filtering. which we can say it's not flexible at all. But if you're taking the software implementation, we can, by changing the simple program, we can just change the nature of filtering operation. Now next is types of digital filters. Now we have divided digital filters into two types. One is your FIR filters and the next is your IIR filters. FIR filters are basically digital filters which are defined like this. Now what is this H of n? It is the impulse response. Now impulse response, if it is finite, we call it FIR, finite impulse response. If it is infinite, it is called as infinite impulse response. And one more nature is it is non-recursive and this one is recursive. Now next is your introduction to digital signal processor. We'll quickly go to signal processor. Now what is the difference between general purpose signal processor and your DSP processor? General purpose processors are not meant to be designed for your for this operations of processors like your FFT, convolution, then your filtering. So but in digital signal processors, these processors are having optimized hardware for all these operations. So how it is differentiated? One, I have written general purpose DSPs and the next I have written special purpose DSPs. I have given some examples of your general purpose DSPs. These are high speed microprocessor with architecture and instruction set optimized for DSP operation. So now Texas also you give your signal processors and for that it has written its tag name. Then Motorola also provide. And special purpose means only specific operations of DSPs, that is FFT, your pulse code modulation, then your filtering, etc. And FFT processors are TM this one type, then TM66 is another type, then UPD SP this number is another type. So this is a special purpose DSPs. Now next I have prepared some assignment questions for you. First I have written compute the 8-point DFT of the given sequence using Radix 2 DIT FFT algorithm. So here what you have to do, I have taken x of n is equal to this. So it's a 8-point sequence. So you have to first rearrange this 8 points, 8 number of samples into bit reversal order. Say this is your 1 3, the data is 1 3, then 1 2, then 1 3, then 1 2. Now if you bit reverse it, your first value will be x of 0. So x of 0 is 1. Then your second value will be x of 4. X of 4, this is your 0, this is 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now 4 value is this one. Then 2. 2 value is 1. Then 6. 6 value is again 1. Then 1 value is 3. Then 5 value is your 3. Then 3 value is your 1, then 7 value is your 2. So like this you have to rearrange first, then you have to go for this butterfly diagram. So this diagram. So write all the values here, then Wn, here n is equal to 8, so W8 to the power 0, calculate this value. So it will be simply x of 0 plus x of 4 because W8 to the power 0 is equal to 1. Similarly you do. Now next is compute the 4-point DFT. So similarly you can find the 4-point DFT. So this and then phase factor, but basic butterfly diagram, then multiplications. So this completes my presentation on your first Fourier transform. It's one of its algorithm. Now these are my references. Thank you very much. If you have any query you can contact. This is my WhatsApp number. Thank you.
झीटीए तो माटी आम सामाजिक और पारिवारिक जीवनर मूल कथाटी से माने आगकू गले आगकू जीव संसार आम झील मैंने आ पुओंकठू पछरे नाहांती एबे तो बदली गलानी समय बदली गलानी जुग से झील माननकू आहुरी आगकू नहीं आत्मनिर्भरशील और स्वावलंबी करने ओडिशा सरकार सुदक्षा योजन सरकारी ITI माध्यम संपूर्ण मागणार जोगई देउछंती सबु प्रकार उत्कृष्ट मानर वैषयिक ज्ञान कौशलर तालीम। एबे आम झील रहिबे सबुठू आगरे सबुठू उपरे।
मु सफल मु कुशली मु सुदक्षा।